Hi friends. I'm gonna take the kids to play pickleball, and then from there we're gonna meet up with some people. So I'm gonna try and get ready so that I don't look ratchet for the day.
You can have the rest of it because you have all of your saliva on
Gross.
it. It's all of yours.
How do you think it's my saliva?
Because you're the one who took those 2 bites out of it.
Be nice.
She was like, I'm really hungry. And I was
I'm
like,
so
I haven't
hungry.
eaten. I haven't eaten either. And so she just
You
bit.
can have more. I've just taken 2 bites. Alright, I'm gonna do
You
this.
don't really have any more cheese because you ate all of it.
I didn't have. I had 2 bites. Thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring.
You ate 2 bites out of my other sandwich.
Sharing's caring. Sharing's caring.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. Love you.
No.
Do you ever fix food for your kids and then you're like, you don't have time to fix food for yourself? That's keto bread, by the way. The Costco keto. Okay, I'm gonna show you what my current workspace looks like. Just for anyone who feels like, man, this is a mess today. I feel ya. Progressively over the summer, everything is just getting messier. Okay, this is a fried egg with cheese, mayonnaise, and ham on keto bread. I didn't plan to show this. I made all for my kids. I didn't have time to make me one. That's life. And so I did try and take 2 bites out of Lexi's. And I was like, here, you can have this and 2 instead, like an avocado and a couple things. But I guess she didn't want to eat off of it since I'd eaten a bite. So here we are. It's really is delicious. If you are trying to do keto, I recommend trying a keto bread. They aren't as good as real bread, but it has kept me in ketosis. And I don't feel like I'm missing too much other than obviously like pasta and sugar and fruit. But thanks. I love this dress too. It's on clearance. I forgot to put that in the comments. Keto bread has 1 net carb. So per slice. So it actually has 2 carbs for the sandwich. But that's, I can have up to 25 a day. Okay, let's do this. I'll show you the dress. It's on clearance. We're gonna get ready just because we have a lot of things to do. I feel like this dress is incredibly slimming. To be honest, I walked out this morning and Hannah goes, "You're getting skinny." And I was like, I'm quite there yet, but we're trying. I was like, well, thanks. I feel so awkward to take compliments. I was like, what? Just say thank you. And I'm like, I know, so weird. But I do think this dress is very, very slimming. And I do think a lot of my body is changing. I'd have to look at the calendar. I quit tracking days because I was like, I'm not planning to stop this right now. I think we're probably close to 30 days on keto. No sugar. Even when we go to France, I don't plan to eat too crazy just because I don't want to gain a ton of weight on there. Okay, let's take our supplements. This is the first time I've made it through keto and not felt like I'm just dying and struggling. I added in something called, it's like a GLP-1 alternative. It is a peptide. It's called Make Lean. I just got a new box in, so it's exciting. Already busted into this. But now I was on my last little pack and now I've got 20. The only thing I can say that has been different this month that I have noticed that I'm like losing inches, but I am not just hungry all the time. I'm not thinking about food. I'm not wishing I had that. I am not feeling any of those. And then my blood sugar, which it could be because of the keto, but my blood sugar has been very like level, has dipped a little bit, but I haven't been eating sugar. But it hasn't been like, and I just don't feel like, you know how sometimes you're trying to diet and you just feel like, I don't think I can do this. Like I felt the opposite. I've been like, I probably need to eat. I don't know if that makes sense, but highly recommend if you don't want to take like shots, or you're wanting to try an all natural like peptide, and trying to do something that's like more affordable than weekly shots or stuff, you get a 30-day supply of this, and it just has a lot less side effects. And it's like, you could even take this. My doctor was like, if we were to get pregnant, that I could take these. She was like, it's literally plant-based. And I've gained a lot of weight before in pregnancies. And so she's like, this would be really great for you actually. So, I feel like that says a lot. But anyways, it's called Lean. It's from a company called Make Lean. But it's a GLP-1 alternative. But I do think that, that has made a big difference for, I don't know, I just haven't felt like this has been really hard. And doing no sugar for 30 days is hard. I've tried doing like low carb and no sugar and all that for, sometimes I don't make it more than 3 days. I do feel like the longer you do it, you kind of get that out of your system, your taste buds change and all those things. But then I'm still taking TrimFit, and they both help with appetite control. They both help, but this is more like helps with energy. It has caffeine. It helps with boosting mood. And this one helps more with like burning fat. It actually focuses on burning visceral fat, which is the dangerous fat around your muscles. And so anyways, I'm really proud of myself. It's one of those where you're like, in my mind, I had thought I would lose like 15 to 20 pounds, which was not realistic. But I do notice like I'm fitting into clothes I couldn't fit into. Things are looking and feeling smaller. I am like dropping down incrementally. And I'm just gonna plan to keep at it. So sometimes I can, on keto, I did eat watermelon recently, and I've added that in a little, but I have to watch myself because I pee on those strips every day, and it can make it to where I'm almost out of ketosis. But oh my gosh, the watermelon's like the best thing I've ever had, and I'll mix it with cheeses and like basil and tomato, and it's just so good. You can't have bananas, you can't have, you can do berries a little bit, like if you were gonna mix it with your protein, like yogurt or something. But anyways, once you kind of get the hang of what you can and can't, and you'll also be shocked by how many things you look at and you're like, whew, mercy, well, I had no idea. Or like, for example, I have some sweet potato sticks from Costco, which in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's just natural sweet potato sticks. And they are 57 grams of carbs per package. I was eating like 2 or 3 of those a day. And so I can just see where some of the things that I was eating could really like make me go over even just a regular base carbs. So anyways, shake it, shake it. All right, I mixed my greens in here because greens are just good for your body. That's really, I don't feel like it's a lot of like my weight loss journey at all, other than I don't eat. This has over 100 nutrients from fruits, veggies, earth, ocean, rooted plants, things from the sea kelp, and things that help purify your blood, and things that help just all those things. And I know I don't get that in my daily diet, so I mix it. And on its own, it tastes like a mild pineapple flavor. They're actually very delicious greens for greens, but if you mix it with your TrimFit, it's just like the next level. And then if you pour it over ice. But yeah. Also, everyone has been really sweet. I can tell, like, I'll get the sweetest messages of people being like, I can tell, or like, your face looks less puffy, or, and then, you know, or somebody sent me a message today and they're like, is this like now, or is this a replay? Like, I can't tell, you know, you look amazing. I'm like, it is now. Thank you. Pickleball, everyone you know has either played, has injured themselves badly. So I'm taking my kids, and then I'm gonna probably just talk to the moms. So I'm not actually probably playing. I've only played, well, I played once with Natalie on the Royal Caribbean. And it was us and several women in their 70s, and we played, and were horrible. They were for sure better than we were. I'm just gonna put extensions in. Starting with the 3 at the bottom. I'm in a weird phase of my hair, so I don't want to make the chop, so I'm just adding clip-ins when I want to. But anyways, that's the experience I have with pickleball. And then I've played once with my kids. I have plenty of pickleball things though. I have pickleball napkins, I have a pickleball paper plate. I could have a pickleball party, but I am not good at pickleball, but my kids want to play today. So I feel like I'm trying to juggle like summer, children, work. I have a call coming up at 12 with someone for like helping me with reels. Just, I don't know. I have not been like super nice to myself lately. I've kind of just felt like I'm just sucking. I don't know. And I'm trying to figure out like a balance of like being a good mom and being a good wife and like working enough and not too much, but working productively and trying to provide for our family. And I just kind of, last week was a really, really hard week for me. And I felt like I called a friend and was talking to her, and I was like, she's in the same industry. And I was like, do you ever just feel like you suck at everything? Like, I don't feel like there's enough of me, and I don't feel like I'm doing a good job. And I was just having a hard week. So this week I was like, I'm gonna go in this week and I will set my intentions differently. I will be kinder to myself. It's not kind to tell yourself that you're stuck at everything. And even if you feel that way. And I was like, this week I am going to try and like prioritize blocks so that I can take them to do certain things. And then certain times I'm doing work, and I'm gonna try and balance it a little bit. But anyways, if you're having a week like that where you just feel like that is how you feel, today's Monday, so we get to pick to feel a different way this week. But also, pretty sure my armpits, I don't know when I shaved them last, so sorry. Just realized that as we're lifting these up. But anyways, I think it can be hard if you're like comparing to how other people are performing or how you are, or like when, I don't know, it's just so many things. And you're like, comparing yourself to yourself even. Like this time last year, I was doing this, and this, and now it's like, I don't know. So you're like, what am I doing wrong? But sometimes it's just things that are out of your control. And if it is in your control, evaluating, like, what can I do? What is on me? So this week I'm gonna try and like, I don't know, be more intentional. So today is an intentional taking and I do things with them. I just have a lot of mom guilt. Like, I mean, we didn't go to bed till midnight last night because we were playing phase 10. Like, I don't know. Find being a parent is hard sometimes. I feel like working and trying to like, so in the job I do, every single month, we like restart at 0, right? And then some months you're like, that month was amazing. Other months you're like, that month hasn't been. And there were some algorithm changes on Instagram a while back that really affected like our reach, I guess. There wasn't anything differently that I've done. Like but the amount of people that see certain things. Facebook, I still hang out, and you guys still hang out with me, which I'm grateful for. Still have all of you guys over here, but I would be lying if it's not like, I think it's just hard when you feel like I go live almost every day, you know? And then sometimes you're like, it's like as if I'm putting in effort, but things aren't happening sometimes. So anyway, so for every single one of you who hang out with me every day, I am so grateful for you. And I know I'm not the only one who feels like you juggle work and life and weight gain and all these things, but last week was really hard. And this week I felt like maybe this morning even, and I was like, I'm not gonna have another hard week. Like, mental recheck. Like, so another reason, because you'd be like, why are you even getting ready if you're taking them to go do that? Well, I'm getting ready because I want to feel good in my own skin today. And I seem to feel better if my hair's like this. So, things I can't control are that most of my clothes still don't fit me. But they're getting there. We're getting closer. But I can control how my hair looks. So, I do have ADHD, and I feel like sometimes you can get like paralysis where everything just feels way, way, way overwhelming. So you want to shut down, and then I don't really can't really shut down because it's like being a mom and there's a spider in the room. You know, you're like, well, I don't like to, I don't want to do this. And you're like, well, somebody has to kill the spider. It's going to eat your baby. That's kind of what I feel like my life is like a little bit, is it's like, oh, you want to shut down. You feel like you can't even get out of bed and brush your teeth today, but you can't do that. Like, things to do. And so, anyways, we all feel better when we take care of ourselves. Amen. I don't want to be a complainer. I am so grateful for all. I am living in my prayers. I am so grateful. But it doesn't come with some of it without like some stress and figuring things out. So, okay. Clip-in extensions. If you've never tried them, I recommend them. I have a widow's peak. When I do my hair in a straight part, sometimes it looks like I have a little bit of a bald spot. I also have gray right here. I'm going to get my hair colored tomorrow because I have gray hairs. So until then, I'm taking a dark eyebrow pencil and I am covering up the grays and where the widow's peak makes it look a little bald. Pro tip. Okay, let's do, what am I doing? Dry shampoo. I don't want this to get in my drink. I'm just gonna dry shampoo right here. I don't love the way this dry shampoo does actually. Oop, burped. Sorry. Deja Vu, I like sat down and I must have like burped myself. Deja Vu dry shampoo, out of all of Lange's dry shampoos, they're not my favorite. It's the only one I'm not out of, and it's honestly because it's the last one I kind of go for. I would say it is I need like a super dry shampoo, and this one is a very mild dry shampoo, but for a day like today, this works perfectly. Let's do this. Today is the last day for Pomifera's 99-cent shipping. So if you need any skincare, today's the last day. It ends tonight. Going in with this. I have a couple extra of these. I'm actually going to give them to a friend before she goes out of town tomorrow. I'm going to drop them off at her porch today. She's been talking about her like smile lines, and I was telling her like this will make such a huge difference with your laugh lines, smile lines, like all of that. And so I'm gonna go take her one of those today. Don't forget your neck. So this is a jellyfish peptide wand. It is the Youth Ageless Sculpting Wand from Pomifera. This one is for the face and neck. This one is for your eyes. And the eyes is a little less concentrated than the face and neck because it's going on like a more sensitive part of your body where your skin is thinner, so it needs to be less concentrated. So that's why there's two. They are amazing for relaxing the muscle, and this is what Adam is starting to use every day. So today I'm going to take his before pictures because he was like, maybe I should go get Botox. A long time ago, he got Botox, years and years ago, but he hated like how his face was, and he might kill me actually. I didn't even think about it, but he got it. It was a long time ago. He doesn't have it anymore, but he was like, I'm just looking old. Even my ears are looking wrinkly. Like, what can I do? And I told him, I was like, you're not gonna stick with like a huge routine, but if you just did one product, like just one, this will make a difference in your skin. Specifically this one, because it's the equivalent to 7 different products in one. So it replaces several of the things that you're using. So anyways, we've got that on. And then now I'm just gonna do my vitamin C serum. This is the Super Boost. It's also in the youth category on my Palmifera site, and it has turmeric in it. Helps with like reducing redness, inflammation. It gives your skin this incredible collagen like layer, and it looks amazing on. Yes, and today I honestly don't feel like I'm having like a hard day. I do feel like sometimes Mondays can be like, I have a lot to do this week or things like that. But last week was a really, really hard week, and I didn't even want to talk about it online because I was like, I don't want to be on here crying or like poor pitiful me, because I don't feel, it isn't that I'm wanting like sympathy, it's just that I'm like, hey, this is struggling, like I'm really having a hard time balancing all of this and feeling like I'm doing good at anything. Like I just felt, it's not true, but I felt like I'm just not doing great at anything. And I don't know. So I don't know. But I will just be like a very humble, honest answer. So I love oils. I did an oil live. In my mind, I'm like, I really need to take on 2 of the brands I work for. They have some things going on. It isn't just with me, but across the board, I probably make maybe 6% of what I used to make with them. Like, it's like crazy. So I was like, I need to put my energy into something else I love, right? Because this like literally won't even pay for like kids' lunches. So I was like, I'm gonna do an oil live. Within the first 24 hours, I had 0 sales. And I was like, so I just spiraled myself. Now, I've called corporate and they said if other people had ever used their email associated to another representative, then the order goes to that representative. And so I was like, okay, well that makes sense. And so overall, I think we've gotten 4 sales now total for oils, but it was one of those in my mind. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start focusing a lot on this, and this will make up for this or whatever. And then when it didn't, I was like, what is wrong with me? I'm just not good at anything. And I just kind of like and that is what is so wrong with like letting an outward thing determine your inward worth. So my worth, honestly, should not have anything to do with how much weight I lose or gain. Should not have to do with how much I sell or don't sell. It should not have to do with how many views something gets or doesn't. But somehow over the years, part of my like feeling my self-worth is like, you're doing this and it's doing well, right? Or so when I do things and it's like, oh, I got 6 likes or 16 likes and no comments or whatever, it just makes you feel like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what did I used to do that was amazing and I'm doing now that, because I'm still sharing the same things I like, and I don't feel like I'm a spammy sharer. I genuinely I get asked to do things all the time that I don't like, and I won't share it. So that was how it started last week. But open with that, because how many times, this has been all throughout my career, and I don't think people talk about sometimes the lows, even enough. that there are days you put in work and you get no reward. Like there are days you sow seeds and you don't get anything. Like there are days you share, and it could just be because of where that day of the month hit with people's bills. It could be where it is on their vacation. It could be they've already tried it, like, or it isn't for them. They don't like it, you know? But when you tie up like all your own things into it, it can really like mess with your mind. So don't let your job, your performance, your title, your anything make you feel like you're better or worse at something, because it's really not. Like, I don't think I'm gonna get to heaven and God's gonna be like, you were so good because you sold this many mascaras. Like, it's not, you know, like it has nothing to do with that. So it's so goofy that it can affect your mood. Okay, primer. All right, going in, this is their dewy primer. You feel like we're good friends? I do feel like I'm good friends with all of you. Oh, you're moving to Puerto Rico? You're gonna love it. I'm not kidding. It has been the best thing we have ever done. It feels like you've gone back in time 50 years. Like, completely. It is so great. So yes, same thing, like that you, and I really do think God sometimes like shows you like, hey, like, are you putting these things as idols in your life, or are you like really focused on like what truly matters and then for me, I'm just like, I feel like I'm just trying to do maybe too much at one time, because it's like that all needs to get done. And but just being like, what is, like, if Jesus is coming back for his people quickly, right? I believe that God will come back probably in my lifetime. I know other people have said that before, but I believe so. And I don't want to spend so much of my life like distracted by busyness or work or all these things that I'm missing out on like core opportunities to teach my kids about him, to love them, to talk to you guys about, like, I don't know. I just feel like this week I've been really like working on what do I need to be doing, you know, like where do I need to be serving more? So when you start feeling like poor pitiful me, I suck, all these things, make a list of all the things, like what do you want God to do in your life, and what can you do to make things different, and like shifting. So this week my mindset is like, okay, if I'm stressed out, my car is dirty, then every day I need to go out to my car with a trash bag and spend 5 minutes and clean my car out. Well, okay. Like why do you feel you suck? Here are the reasons. Okay, what can I control? I feel like I just look like a bridge troll. Okay, I can control that. We're gonna get ready right now before our very eyes. You know, whatever it is. So I think too, if you've ever had trauma, I want to like go to counseling again. I think trauma of like, you'll never be enough, or all these things, like you can never do anything right, and all these things bad about you over time in your life, even when you get out of those situations, they still like play like a recording in the back of your mind. So when something happens, it like triggers certain things. So I feel like I'm just trying to rewrite like my worth, and it has taken me a long time. Adam is really great to be like very loving and positive, and but for example, like growing up, my family was very big on like, don't take a nap. Like if you take a nap, you're lazy, and like you need to be doing this, and like you need to be sure you can take care of yourself, and you need to be all these things, and like really, I don't know, like kind of programmed a certain way. Well, so I feel all of that. Well, my dad was in town, and I guess subconsciously I was trying to be like, I don't want him to think I'm lazy. I don't want, for my parents even, I'm like, I don't want them to think I'm lazy. I don't want them to think I'm like not a hard worker. I don't want them to think I'm not a good mom, like all these things. And he literally was like, I hope here soon you get to a point like you can like rest more or like enjoy some of the things that you've like worked hard for. And I was like, do you not feel like he has been not working for years now? He travels, he does pool, he does poker, all these things. They live on a very minimal budget, traveling the world at like $40 a day. And he was like, I don't feel guilty at all. And I'm like, how? Like the very person that I feel like I'm trying to be like, hey, I want to be sure, which is so silly. Like, why should I be trying to make my dad proud? Like I'm 36 years old. And, or like my parents, it's just like things that when you didn't get certain things when you're younger, they are weird when you're older. And, I don't know, I want and for my kids, like, you know, all these things. I just really deep down, this sounds so silly. Have you ever done an Enneagram test? I'm an Enneagram 2, which is like the servant, the like helper, the whatever, and then a 3, which is like the competitive one. And I feel like both of those match me to a T, and love helping like other people win, like that kind of thing. But the biggest thing with a 2 is like the deep down feeling of like not being lovable or wanting to be loved. And so a lot of it is like I want to do good at certain things, like to be loved and feeling like, or I don't want to screw up. Adam and I talked about this with God. I was like, I don't want to screw up. And I feel like get to heaven and God's like, you spent this much time watching Downton Abbey when you could have been spending this much time doing this. And he was like, do you really think you're going to get to heaven and God's going to be like that? And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And I was like, do you not? And he's like, no. I think God just like loves us so much. He'll just be so excited. Like when we get there, I mean, if you're killing people and stuff, yeah, but I don't think God is like just like God loves you unconditionally, like not because you did all these things. And that is such a hard thing for me to grasp. It's like without me trying to like live perfectly or whatever, like even in your worst, ugliest time, God still loved you, you know? But yes, I feel like women need permission to rest or feeling so guilty to rest. I'm like, I need it. I actually need rest. I feel like I'm rambling today. Sorry, friends. Go through these comments. Some people know exactly what I'm feeling like. If you don't know what I'm feeling like, you're like, this girl is a nutcase. But I do think that I know, like, I can't be the only one that struggles with this. Like, I really can't. And I'm obviously not. So many of you. 62. You still get anxious every day. Pray about it daily. It's exhausting. Yes. And actually the best thing you can do for your body is rest. Isn't that crazy? Like, even in my resting, I'm normally like trying to think of like strategies for business or what I could be doing, what I should be doing. Like, I should be filming all the time. I took down birthday decorations the other day. I was like standing on a table, like taking them down. And I was like, oh, I should have filmed that. Like that could have, so I also feel like with my job, it doesn't feel like anything is resting. Even when I'm doing like regular, I'm like, I should have been doing this or this. And I don't know. I'm like, I gotta figure this out because I want to be the best version for myself. I want to be the best version for you guys. Like, too. Like I don't know. Lexi helped you with all of that tremendously. I tried antidepressants when Christian was a baby, and I was going through like a really bad postpartum depression, and I did that for a little while. But I felt like, well, first of all, I gained like a ridiculous amount of weight, and the second thing was I felt like it made my personality different. But I was probably less anxious, less like frantic energy. So I don't know the good. And two, I just don't like disappointing people, or myself, or my husband, or my kids. Just like, okay, if you don't use a setting powder, did you see how that just like makes everything so nice and smooth? I have a little redness under this eye today. I'm gonna. But I think it's amazing, like, that God literally commands us to rest. Like, how would my life change if literally one day a week I was like, today's just a day of rest? You're like, well, how would that change everything? And it's like, not just permission, I'm commanding you. Like, you need rest in your life. Like, just to think, like, when you're feeling guilty about it, literally the God of the universe feels like you deserve rest. Not just deserve it, but you need it. I completely agree, Christy. She said, I think not dwelling on things that gave you trauma and focus on what drives your happiness really changes your day and your thoughts and actions. I also think that we have so much power in our tongue, and sometimes I'll feel the Holy Spirit like why are you, here's a phrase, it's like, oh, I'm so dead. Your body doesn't know the difference if you're like pretending or not pretending. Like, it's just like a phrase of like, that was so funny, like, oh, I'm dying. Like, no, do not say you're dying. And I felt like, oh, that's something I need to like stop saying, right? And with everything, like, power of life and death in our tongue, the words we say, my friend Jenny, she always says, like, your words are your wand. So when you say, I want to be this, or I'm gonna do this, or I suck, or I this, or I that, like, you are literally putting it out there to be like, your future is coming out of your mouth. So the type of relationships you want, the type of friendships you want, the type of everything comes from the way what we say. Okay, so I do get somewhat a little dewy here, but I used a dewy primer and then I use a setting powder on top of it on my like really shiny spots, like my T-zone. And then sometimes I go out for walks a lot. I work out, like all the things, and a lot of times I don't wear makeup every day. Actually, sometimes, most days, unless you see me doing a live with you, I don't get ready that day. And some days I just do skincare and head out the door. And so, but setting powder is really good for summer if you struggle with getting like really dewy, not dewy, really sweaty. Oh, that's amazing. I would love to find like a doctor here. I did go to a high-risk OB. I asked her about some of my hormone stuff. It wasn't very helpful. I had Carrie from Southern Surgical Arts in Chattanooga was amazing if you're in that area, and she does do things remotely. I might even reach out to her and be like, can I get blood work done here, and her go over it. But I feel like my hormones were the best when I was going to her. I really do. She was great. But I think finding someone who can like help support you in those ways is really important. I obviously need supporting currently. Okay, if you get too much, take your foundation brush and just go over it to where it's not like wonky. Okay, this brush I got at like a dollar store. So it's just, I also have the Dibs kind of version. It's thicker. This one I bought to put on sunless tanning when we were on a trip, and I just grabbed it. But any sort of like, even elf brushes, anything like that, just something that you can really blend in. I think that it's really good. had a friend this weekend, she was like, if you're ever feeling that way, she said something that helps her, which I thought was so smart. She was like, make a list of all the things that you're like, you've done right, or you have overcome, or where God has provided, or, you know, and then when you're having days where this like all feels like downhill, you can look at that and really like remember, okay, I'm just in my head today. You ordered the hormone balance from you. Can't wait to try it for your daughter and yourself. You will love it. If I take it every day, I love it. You take it every day. And same thing with my lash serum. If I take it every day, I love it. We're gonna just find one and take it right now. It helps with hot flashes. It helps with mood swings. I just forget to take this one. I have not missed a day of my lean tablets or my TrimFit. That I take every single day, and I have gotten in like a great habit every single day. I obviously deal with hormonal imbalance, and so I should be taking this every day. When I take it, I can't even tell I'm going to start my cycle. I wish I had like shook this up. Pinch and shake. It's great for hormonal acne. It's great for hot flashes. It's great for mood swings. It's great for cramps. It really is great. It's best to just down the hatch. So I'm more going to pickleball as a watching my kids pickleball and just trying to feel better about myself. But no, I'm not normally, I don't know if it's the makeup or if it's me, but I don't normally like sweat everything off. I know it's crazy. I could go to bed and it would look pretty good the next morning, which I've done before. Okay. So it's more of a, I'm going to take my kids to pickleball, but I want to feel good in my own skin. Okay, and probiotic, because it's good for gut health and bloating. So Lexi takes probiotic and total hormone every day. All the other kids just take probiotics every day. I should. Probiotic is so good for getting good bacteria into your gut. It's so good for your immune system. It is so good for many things. Okay, Karina, do you feel like since you have been on the greens, the hormone balance, collagen, probiotics, TrimFit, comp, look at you, you're on all the things. I love the benefits of the reds, but I'll be honest, I don't love the taste of the reds as much. I just like, when I was working out, I felt like they were making me sick to my stomach, so I haven't been taking the reds, but I take all the others. And Calm is a cortisol reducer, so if you feel like, if you test and your cortisol levels are high, if you, both Calm and the Turmeric are cortisol reducers. If you are anxious, if you feel like you're about to have a panic attack, you can take it right then. Those are great things you can do for cortisol. But okay, if you have hot flashes super bad after a hysterectomy, I highly recommend trying that Total Hormone Health from Beautiful You. So things I take from Beautiful You are the greens. They do have reds, which are like your beets and cardiovascular. They have creatine. They have a TrimFit Tropical, regular TrimFit, which is an appetite suppressant energy like booster. Thumbs up to myself. I accidentally did that. And then from Make, they have a lot of other products too, but the only ones I've really tried are the they're peptides at Make, so I think that's what makes it different there. But they're plant-based, they're peptides, branched chain amino acids to help in your body, and I take the lean from them and the Calm. So yes, so Beautiful You is the brands for like a lot of the other supplements, and some of them I don't take every single day. So for example, I probably should take probiotics every day.
I am honest with you and I don't. If I remember them, I will. I also think I would benefit from taking the total. I probably would only do reds if I liked the taste better. I would do them just when I was gonna try running or pickleball or tennis, something where I'm gonna get my heart rate really going. I don't do pre-workouts because they make me very tingly. They don't do this to everyone, but to me I get very tingly and I don't like that. But if you love pre-workouts, my sister loves that feeling, like where it's like then you could do pre and post workouts with you. Lots of options, lots of things you can try. I want to show you this bottle. Here we go. I did this eyeshadow look at a friend's house the other day and it was so pretty. So that's what we're gonna do today. Okay, I just used my finger here with the lightest color. Oh, I can't do a lot with trolls if I'm on a live. Let's see. But I can block them after it's over. Actually. Okay, see if that makes a difference. I think they're banned. I said to ban from my page and all lives. So it's like, so I don't take the charge or recharge from you. Christian takes the post-workout recovery. Adam takes the post-workout recovery. I just haven't. I guess I'm just not as worried about it as I should be. I should. I have a bottle. And then I did the pre-workout once and I just don't like the way I feel on pre-workout. But that's my own opinion. Some people love how they feel on pre-workout. I don't like, it makes me too jittery. So that's just me. But like I said, I will always be really honest with you on what I love. And sometimes it's not like, we don't all love the same things. So you may be like, I really love this. Or for you, it might be really important to take, like if I knew I was gonna be very sore, I worked out hard in the gym, I would not be against taking a post-workout. I'm just not in the habit of it. And I've never done it before. So I don't think I've taken it more than twice. but I should. But Christian takes post-workout, but he's also lifting a lot more, and so is Adam. So, and it's not that it's a guy thing, a girl thing. I just think I have been more worried about like weight loss, fat burn than, but creatine, again, that's not just for people who are trying to like lose weight. Creatine helps with lean muscle, it helps with your brain, like all these things, so. I'm just going in, if you have the Dune palette, it's this, it looks like a taupey light cream, but it's actually a little darker when you put it on your skin than you would think. And we're just building up the softest smoky eye. Okay, now I'm going in with just like a very light brown, adding that in just enough to have a shadow. Yes, you love the TrimFit and how it makes you feel. I have been taking it for a long time, and even in times, like, I don't think that product alone forever has always kept me, like, I don't feel like I just have kept losing pounds every single day, but I did lose about 60 pounds on it over the years, and but I love how I feel. Like, if I'm feeling frumpy or whatever, I'm like, I'm gonna take this, and all of a sudden I'm like, let's go for a walk. Let's clean our house. Like, but yes, I feel like I can only take so many things. It's expensive, and it is like, I also can only drink so many things. Like, I have friends that they're taking like 14, and I'm like, I just can't do it. So for me, I'm like, in my brain and my memory and all of it, like, what are realistically like 5 things I can do? Or 3 things, or 1 thing, you know? And that's kind of how I look at it. So I'm like, without fail, I'm TrimFit and Make Lean. I also have vitamins I take, like in the morning and at night, like for my hormones or for different things. I'm going in with like this darker kind of mocha color. It's not the deepest one, but it's like a light one. And this is where it turns out so cute. Just on like the outer corner. But yeah, so I don't feel like I've figured out how to take all of them. But that's probably realistic. You can't all. And sometimes it's like something changes in you that all of a sudden you're like, I think I need this more. Like maybe you're on an antibiotic and you don't want to get a UTI or a yeast infection or whatever. So you want to take probiotics every day that week, you know, and help boost your immune system. Okay. When I came in here earlier, I was like a little cold, and now that I've been sitting in front of this window for like however, today's been a long live. However long we've been live, I've been sitting in front of the window and now I feel like I'm getting hot. So we have split units, I believe that's what they're called. They're just like AC units in the wall. I'll show it to you. So I tried to turn it down because I'm hot. A little hot in here. Okay, so what do you think about the eyeshadow look? I feel like it's really cute. This is gonna be a great week. I feel like I'm getting a zit right here in my eyebrow. When I go to use this or touch my brow, it's very tender. Went too high. Just take your little spoolie. Get it where you want it. I love all these testimonies in the comments. It makes me so happy. It really does. Yes, I think it's a very soft makeup look. So I used the June palette, and I do feel like I need a tiny bit more on this eye to match. So I'm just gonna take like barely, less is best. Okay, now we're gonna go in with some mascara, get our brows on. And it is so different, like feeling ready for the day. So then when I do all my other errands the rest of the day, I won't feel as like, meh. It's the word, meh. That's actually like the feeling. It's actually the feeling I feel. Okay. Going in with Ophir's mascara. So you can use the code SUMMER if you need anything from Ophir, and you can save 20% site-wide. I put the link in the description of this video. If you needed any beautiful youth supplements, you can use the code Courtney Swan, and you can save, if you do a subscription too, you save 25%. And then, but I put my codes and the links. As far as make, they do not have a code, but you do save when you do your subscription. So I never touch up my makeup, ever. Like, I could go and sweat for half the afternoon. It stays on so well. If you are really, really sweaty, you could always spray setting powder after you get done. But And then not every day. I don't do this every day. Sometimes I just go with just like some of this on, or even a tinted sunscreen SPF. I wish they had the collagen in the to-go packets. That would be amazing. But they do have the unflavored in the to-go packets. I've been wearing these earrings nonstop lately, but I forgot to grab the link. I just think they were so adorable. Really, really, really cute. And they were not pricey. They were just good. I'm sure they'll turn my ear green at some point, but they're cute. But I'll get that and share it in the stories. It's amazing how different your face looks if you put mascara on. I've been using lash serum again, the Barboletta. My lashes had gotten so long, and then I just kind of stopped using it, like I guess as if it was gonna keep working. And then I noticed they started feeling shorter again, so I started using the Barboletta a few times a week. I do have sensitive eyes, so I cannot use it every day. I know people who can, but I can tell a difference within like 2 weeks of using it. My lashes just start getting so long. Kimberly, I do not know when Ophir will replenish their foundation. They have all of it sold out. It's so frustrating. Hopefully it's something like new, better, more wonderful. I just hate change. If I like something, I'm like, why are we changing this? Why? What's going on? Oh, I love that. You love Ophir slowly increased your number of products until you had everything you wanted. Yes. So a lot of times, like on, I know I show a lot of different things, and I show some linkable, some not linkable, whatever. But I try and show everything that is linkable. I know foundation's sold out right now, but that's kind of like, it's not that you need everything, but when you run out of something, it's nice to be like, okay, well, I'll get this and this, and then maybe the next month you get this, you know, and eventually it's like, hey, it might have taken a little while, but you can start slowly replacing or asking for things for a birthday or Christmas or stuff. Cherry, you're so sweet. I do go and read comments and look back and be like, God has been so good for my business, like so good for my business, so good for my life, so good for me to be able to connect with others. And so many people that message that are like going through hard things, and that somehow like our paths have crossed and it has brightened their day. And I think that like, even when I feel like I'm sucking at a lot of other things, I do think that God has used me in this platform to help brighten people's lives. And sometimes brighten people like more than I could have done if I had taught Bible study at a church or spoken at a big church, you know, or something. I think God has been able to use this, and that is like, I do think at the end of it, it's like, that's really, really, really special. And I got a message last week of someone, her husband had passed away, and you know, just being like lonely and sad and going through hard things, and that she like looks forward to my videos, and I just think it's so beautiful. And I don't say that to like brag, like people look forward to it. I just think that it's such a blessing that I could be able to, like, when people are going through hard things in their life, that we can talk about my family and ups and downs and highs and lows, and we can connect. And I don't know, I pray all the time that if there's somebody who's supposed to, like, our paths are supposed to cross, that the Lord will like just make it happen, you know? Adam and I talked this week about God just being so good in our lives. And like, if you looked 10 years ago, like I had not met him yet, you know, like all these things. And you're like, if I could see where my life is now, and even on days when I'm like struggling and like stressed and stuff, it's like, okay, well, if you were to look back 10 years ago and be like, this is your life now, you would not even be stressed out today, you know? And like being in line at like food pantries, or not paying our bills, or I even thought about doing like testimony Tuesdays or something, but like sharing. I want to write down stories of like miracles, like legit miracles that have happened in my life. And I believe when you pray, you see miracles happen. And or at least I have seen actual miracles happen. And where like I know the hand of God had to have something to do with it. There's no other way it could have happened. And even just sharing, like, and then getting to hear what other people have heard, but or have had happen. But I'm grateful. Sorry that some days I have hard days, but I really am grateful. There is nothing, I cannot think of a single other job I would rather do. Like, I love, even if one day, like, I don't know, I just feel like I've been doing this for so long and I really love it. I just get a little overwhelmed sometimes. And I don't want to disappoint anyone. I don't want to disappoint you guys. Okay, this is red clay eyeliner. We're using it on our lips today. That is so amazing. Can you imagine looking for a hair straightener in 2016, and here we are still hanging out together? And we are all human. I think the enemy too can use things to make you feel like sucky sometimes. Like, for example, like a narrative that I will tell myself is like, no one will ever want to like buy supplements from me because all I do is like yo-yo or my weight gains, like even when I can't control it. And when I'm trying to, like, I felt so, for months, I felt so bad because I had like been creeping up, even though I was working out like 5 days a week, even though I was like eating remotely healthy. I would have like a taco or a pina colada or something, but overall, if you looked at my diet based on others, and I was just like, and so I'll start hearing these things of like, how can you even talk about this if you're gaining? And then, but the reality is like, I have thousands of customers who lose. I just have some wonky hormone stuff, but I don't want to not share it. But it's like these weird, I don't ever want to be like, but I haven't been dishonest. I tell you when it happens. So I just kind of feel like I'm failing you guys, but I'm not just like it's as if I'm trying to be like a top star athlete every single day or something, like every week, and trying to do all these things, and that's not realistic. I can't, like, it's just not. So really I have to be like, hey, some of us, this happens more or less, so how can we get through it together? And that's what I'm doing. Okay, another eyeliner, I believe. Let me see. Oh, these eyes. Waterproof eye pencil. This is Nude Sickle. And it looks so good with this eye combo is stunning. Oh, you started following me right after I met Adam. Those are the good days. Those are my favorite vlogging days of my whole career, because it was so exciting. I didn't know if he liked me. I didn't know, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna stay together? Are we gonna break up? Are we back together? Like, it was just like, do I introduce the kids to him? Like, it was just fun vlogging. Anyone here for that? So instead, I want to start speaking, like, continuing to speak truth over my life. Like, you can do all things through Christ. Like, you are created with a purpose. You are light in the darkness. You are, God can open doors that no man can shut, you know, like, okay, going in with, and I have to, like, mentally turn off, like, negative noise and speak truth into my life. Quote scripture. Who's got a little tingle today? It's their lip plumper. Sometimes I can't feel it, but today I can. Followed way before Adam. You guys, that's amazing. It's a long time. We've been together 8 years. Okay. So by adding like a little bit of this lighter color in the center, it just gives almost how when light hits your lips, what it would look like. It's faux light. It's just a little lighter. This has ended up being really cute today. We can do anything today. Take your spoolie if you have any mascara that has dried. Wait until it dries and just flick it off. Flick it. Okay. I think I'm almost done. Do I have anything else left to do? I feel like I look ready for the day. When I had a guy come up with a raccoon. That's hilarious. That was a long time. I had a raccoon in my house. At one point. Also, Adam had raccoons living in one of his houses, and we did like a whole little trapping raccoon. It's just so funny. Yeah, 8 years. It's a long time. Please delete nasty comments and don't listen. I hope there aren't nasty ones today. But sometimes there are, but most of them are not. I feel like the people who've ended up in the nasty club, I don't know what honestly, if I met them in real life, I would be like, I don't know what I did to make you hate me. Like, I would make you a cupcake or like hug you. I don't know. But you can't, like, not everybody always loves everybody. So, Jesus was perfect and people didn't love him, you know? But, oh, Erica. Yes, if you feel like you're in a slump, it's like, okay, slump this way. You get to pick your hard, right? Like, I've always heard that. It's like, you pick your hard. A lot of things are hard. Waking up and feeling bad about yourself is hard. Getting ready when you don't feel like it is hard. But you pick your hard, and hopefully if any of you have felt, I need blush, that's what I needed. Okay. That's what we're lacking. This blush is powerful. Barely tap. This is called Current. Feel a little too much, just take your foundation brush and barely tap it. Like, boop, 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 boop. Okay, what I recommend for hair breakage on the sides, when your hair are up, it's like little sideburns. Okay, so I would recommend Collagen daily because that's gonna help from the inside out as your new hair growth comes in. You'll get a lot more hair growth. And I like Beautiful Use Collagen, either unflavored, you can mix it in anything, or the orange. And then I would recommend some sort of like split end tamer, either the Mist Bond from Launch, like you can put that on and it's gonna help with breakage, or Pomifera oil. It's like a Pomifera hair oil. That's a really, really good one. And it helps with like restoring your hair, and you can also put it in at your scalp and it helps with hair growth. So I got my extensions, they're just clip-ins, and I got them from Amazon, and I linked them in the description of this video. I do love a good little pink. I love that. See, it's so fun. So I have people that have said before that they have gotten into makeup because of it, or some people, they don't do makeup at all, but they hang out, and it's all great. Okay, hope you guys have the best day. I am gonna hop off here, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.